Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the Autonomous Academy. So far, in the last lecture, I had discussed how to obtain the process of stimulated emission in practical life. Now, in the present lecture, I am going to cover some of the basic terminologies related with the laser. So, let us begin our discussion with the first terminology, that is the pumping mechanism. Basically, pumping is a mechanism in which we have to supply energy to the system or to the medium, and then the system goes into the state of the population inversion. That means the pumping mechanism involves two things. First thing is we have to supply energy to the system, and the second, the system goes into the state of the population inversion. We can also say that pumping mechanism plays a role which allows the system to go into the state of the population inversion. Now, here question arises that which kind of energy is required to provide to the system so that it goes into the state of the population inversion. So guys, here answer is that we can choose here energy in form of light, in form of heat, or in form of electricity, and so on, for allowing the system to go into the state of population inversion. So depending upon the form of energy, the pumping mechanism is divided into three different categories. First is optical pumping, second is electric discharge pumping, and the last one is direct conversion pumping. Let us discuss this each category in detail one by one. So optical pumping. Optical pumping is a mechanism in which the system goes into the state of population inversion by using a light source. That means in optical pumping mechanism, the source will be the light source, and it may be the flash lamp, it may be any xenon lamp or the krypton lamp. These optical pumping mechanisms are generally utilized in those lasers which are made up of solids medium. That means the lasers which are in the solid state, in this solid state laser, we have to use the optical pumping mechanism. The second category of pumping is the electric discharge pumping. In this electric discharge pumping, we have to use the electric field. That means whenever the electric field is provided to the system, then the atoms, ions or molecules present in that system, they will get ionized. Here the meaning of ionization is that whenever the strong electric field is provided to the system, there occurs the separation of the charges. दैट मीन्स फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर हम इसे समझने के लिए वाटर के एग्जाम्पल का कंसिडर करें, मोलिक्यूल ऑफ H2O, देन इफ वी आर प्रोवाइडिंग हीट एनर्जी टू द H2O मॉलिक्यूल, अगर हम वाटर के मॉलिक्यूल को लार्ज अमाउंट ऑफ हीट एनर्जी प्रोवाइड करते हैं, एंड इन दैट सिचुएशन आफ्टर सम टाइम देयर विल ऑकर द आयोनाइजेशन. दैट मीन्स द हाइड्रोजन ions will get separate and the oxygen ions will get separate. Here the hydrogen ion will acquire the positive charge and the oxygen ion will acquire the negative charge. That means whenever the large amount of heat energy is applied to the H2O molecule, then it gets separated into the positive and the negative ions. Similarly, whenever we apply the strong electric field to the system which is composed of atoms or the molecules, then the atoms or molecules will get separated. This ionization is done by the electric field. Therefore, such kind of ionization is known as the electric field ionization. Now, this electric field ionization is categorized as a pumping mechanism, and these pumping mechanisms are generally utilized in the liquid or the gaseous laser. It means the lasers which are made up of the liquid and the gaseous medium. In that laser, we can use electric discharge pumping. The last category of the pumping mechanism is a direct conversion. Here the conversion terms indicates that the one form of energy is converting into other form of energy, and we had written here direct conversion. That means here one form of energy, that means the electric energy is directly converted into the light energy without converting into any other form of energy. मतलब हमारे पास भी इलेक्ट्रिक एनर्जी है और वो इलेक्ट्रिक एनर्जी हम किसी सिस्टम को अप्लाई करते हैं तो डायरेक्टली उस इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी का कन्वर्जन लाइट एनर्जी में कन्वर्ट होता है. इस तरीके के मैकेनिज्म को हम बोलते हैं डायरेक्ट कन्वर्जन मैकेनिज्म. गाइस, दिस इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी इनटू लाइट एनर्जी कन्वर्जन इज आल्सो यूटिलाइज्ड इन द लाइट इमिटिंग डायोड, दैट इज एन LEDs. ये जो मैकेनिज्म है ये हम LEDs में भी यूटिलाइज करते हैं. LED का वर्किंग प्रिंसिपल यही है दैट इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी इज डायरेक्टली कन्वर्टेड इनटू लाइट एनर्जी, बट डिफरेंस इज दैट द लाइट ऑब्टेन्ड फ्रॉम LED is incoherent in nature and the light obtained from the laser will be coherent and in amplified form. Now question arises, in which medium we are going to use this direct conversion methodology. So these direct conversion mechanism are generally utilized in the semiconductor diode lasers. So these are the three different mechanism, and up to this I think it is clear that if your lasers are in the solid state, then you have to use the optical pumping mechanism. If your lasers are in liquid or in gaseous state, you have to use electric discharge pumping mechanism. And if your lasers are in the semiconductor are made up of semiconductor material, then you have to use the direct conversion mechanism. That means you cannot use here, it must be marked here, you cannot use one type of pumping mechanism in all kinds of laser. That means different kinds of laser demands different kind of pumping mechanism, so that the system goes into the state of the population inversion. So guys, this is the discussion about the pumping mechanism. I hope the pumping and the categories of pumping is clear to you. Now let's move ahead. The second terminology, which is the population inversion. Guys, I had already discussed this population inversion in my last lecture, where I was discussing about the metastable state. Now let us discuss the what is this population inversion and how we are going to achieve this population inversion in realistic life. So what is population inversion? Generally, population inversion is an artificial situation. It is a condition which is artificially developed. In this situation, the number of atoms which are present in the excited energy states will always exceeds the number of atoms present in the ground energy state. मतलब ये एक ऐसा condition होता है, ये एक ऐसा artificial situation होता है जहाँ पर excited state में present number of atoms हमेशा ground state में present number of atoms को exceed करेंगे. अगर हम number of atoms excited state में n2 रिप्रेजेंट करें और ग्राउंड एनर्जी स्टेट में n1 से रिप्रेजेंट करें, देन पॉपुलेशन इन्वर्जन को मैथमेटिकली हम एक्सप्रेस कर सकते हैं. द स्टेट ऑफ पॉपुलेशन इन्वर्जन इज अचीव्ड व्हेन n2 is greater than n1. That means the number of atoms in excited energy state is exceeding the number of atoms present in the ground energy state. So this is simply the population inversion condition. Now here let us discuss about how we are going to achieve the population inversion. Now, to obtain the condition of population inversion, here I should mention here that we have to use the rate of absorption transition, rate of spontaneous emission transition, and rate of the stimulated emission transition. Guys, rate of spontaneous emission transition, absorption transition, stimulated emission transition मैंने already अपने introductory lecture में discuss किया हुआ है. So हम उन्हीं rate of transitions को use करके population inversion की condition को define करने वाले हैं. So the first condition to obtain the population inversion is that the at thermal equilibrium. अब thermal equilibrium generally एक ऐसा condition होता है the at which the temperature inside the system is equal to the temperature outside the system. मतलब the condition of thermal equilibrium is that where the temperature is uniform everywhere inside the system, and at outside the system the temperature will be uniform. So here we are taking the system in thermal equilibrium condition, and in this thermal equilibrium condition the ratio of the stimulated emission transition, that is the rate of the stimulated emission to the rate of the spontaneous emission, is given mathematically here B21 into N2 rho h nu 21 over A21 N2. Here B21 is the stimulated emission coefficient, N2 is the number of atoms present in the excited energy state, and rho h nu 21 is representing the energy density of the photons. Again, A21 is representing the spontaneous emission coefficient, and N2 is representing the number of atoms in the excited state. So by doing some mathematical analysis, we will obtain here B21 into rho h nu 21 over A21. That means here we are obtaining a fraction where the ratio of B21 over A21 multiplied by rho h nu 21. So from this mathematical expression, it is clear that higher will be the value of rho h nu 12, higher will be the value of spectral energy density of photon, higher will be the stimulated emission, and higher will be the condition of the population inversion. That means the first condition to obtain population inversion is that we have to ensure that the value of spectral energy density must be high, so that there will be the high rate of stimulated emission and high rate of population inversion. Now, the second condition to obtain the population inversion is that, again in the thermal equilibrium condition, if we find out the ratio of stimulated emission and the ratio of absorption transition, then we will get here B21 into N2 rho h nu 21 over B12 N1 into rho h nu 12. Here we have to mention here that the energy density of incident photon and this energy density of the emitted photons are equal. That means it does not matter if you are writing H21 or H12, both are the equal. So h nu 12 is equal to h nu 21. So these two spectral energy densities are clear, and one more condition provided here is that B21 is equal to B12. This B21 is equal to B12 is the condition which is written on the basis of Einstein's prediction. This condition is predicted by Einstein. That means the absorption coefficient is equal to the coefficient of stimulated emission. That means B21 is equal to B2. If you substitute rho h nu 21 is equal to rho h nu 12 and B21 is equal to B12, then you are left with here only N2 over N1. That means here the expression is that N2 divided by N1, and this expression signifies that the number of atoms in the excited state is higher than the number of atoms in the ground energy state. That means whenever we are considering the system in thermal equilibrium, if the spectral energy density rho h nu 21 is large and the number of atoms in the excited state is large, we will able to get the condition of the population inversion. So guys, these were the conditions so that you can obtain the condition of the population inversion. So I hope this population inversion is clear to you. Now moving ahead, the last terminology is the active medium and the active center. Generally, active mediums are defined as a gain medium or losing medium. In different books you will find that active mediums are written as a gain medium. जो gain medium होता है वही active medium होता है, और इसे हम कभी losing medium से भी represent करते हैं. So generally gain medium, losing medium and active medium एक ऐसा medium होता है जो laser transition को support करता है, या हम इसे other words में ऐसे भी कह सकते हैं active मीडियम एक ऐसा मीडियम होगा जो लाइट को एम्पलीफाई करेगा. दिस एक्टिव मीडियम हैज अ टास्क टू एम्पलीफाई द लाइट. मतलब जो कुछ भी लाइट एनर्जी इस पर इंसिडेंट होगी, उस लाइट एनर्जी इंसिडेंट होने वाली लाइट एनर्जी को एम्पलीफाई करने का जो टास्क होगा वो हमारे गेन मीडियम का होगा. देन अगर हम कोई लेजर के एग्जाम्पल के बारे में बात करें, फॉर एग्जाम्पल सबसे पहले हम कंसिडर करते हैं हीलियम नियॉन लेजर. इस हीलियम नियॉन लेजर में जो हीलियम का गैस होगा वो वर्क करेगा एक्टिव मीडियम की तरह, मतलब वो लाइट को एम्पलीफाई करेगा. और अगर हम रूबी लेजर के बारे में बात करते हैं तो मैंने आपको ऑलरेडी ये बताया हुआ है कि रूबी लेजर में जो एल्यूमिनियम ऑक्साइड होता है ये एक्टिव मीडियम की तरह बिहेव करता है. तो एक्टिव मीडियम से आपको दो चीजें ध्यान में रखनी है. इट विल सपोर्ट द लेजर ट्रांजिशन एंड इट विल एम्पलीफाई द light incident onto it. Now the last terminology is the active center. Generally active centers are those ions or those atom which performs the laser transition. मतलब अगर हम हीलियम नियॉन के लेजर के बारे में बात करें, वहाँ पर हीलियम जो था वो एक्टिव मीडियम की तरह बिहेव कर रहा था, बट वहाँ पर जो नियॉन का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन होगा वो एक्टिव सेंटर की तरह या फिर एक्टिव आयंस की तरह पर बिहेव करेगा. एंड अगर हम रूबी लेजर के बारे में बात करें तो जो क्रोमियम आयंस होते हैं वो क्रोमियम आयंस वहाँ पर एक्टिव सेंटर की तरह बिहेव करते हैं. सो गाइज आई विल मेंशन हियर दैट इन ईच काइंड ऑफ लेजर, जितने भी लेजर्स यहाँ पर डिजाइन किए जा चुके हैं उन सारे के सारे लेजर में एक्टिव मीडियम और एक्टिव सेंटर का एग्जिस्टेंस होता है. बिकॉज जब तक आप किसी एक्टिव मीडियम में सूटेबल एक्टिव सेंटर को या सूटेबल डोपेंट मटेरियल को ऐड ना करें तब तक आप लेजर को फैब्रिकेट नहीं कर सकते. सो this is about the basic terminologies of the laser. I hope this discussion is clear to you guys, and if you have any query regarding this lecture and regarding last two lecture, you can post your queries in the comment section. I will explain you these queries in that comment section. So thank you so much for watching this video.